In 2021, Toyota stopped the production of the Land Cruiser, and at that point, it had reached prices of $87,000 to $90,000. And that's back in 2021. That kind of gave them the nickname of pavement princesses or mall cruisers, even though we really don't have malls anymore. But the people who really, truly wanted to use these as off-roaders couldn't afford them and had to wait for those owners to rack up a lot of miles to bring the prices down to where they could use them for what they were intended for. Toyota heard those loyal customers that really wanted an off-roader, and they decided, we're going to bring it back. We're going to go old school. We're going to go retro. And here's what you've got. You've got a boxy, off-roading looking machine, and it looks awesome. It is ready for the trails right now, and the price is pretty good. So let's take a look at this thing and see what all it has to offer. Every Land Cruiser comes with the iForce Max 2.4 liter turbo 4-cylinder with an electric drive motor between the engine and the transmission. It's going to provide you 326 horsepower and 465 pound-feet of torque. Comes with an 8-speed automatic transmission. You get 0 to 60 in around 7.7 seconds. So it's not the fastest thing. The biggest thing is that amount of torque when you are off-roading. It's really going to help out a lot. Towing with this is rated at 6,000 pounds. The fuel economy is going to come in at 22 in the city, 25 on the highway, with an average of 23 miles per gallon. Now let's go take a look at the cargo area. You do have a powered lift gate. And taking a look at the back, we do have about 38 cubic feet of space right here. Now, if you go and you look at what's back here, there's not a lot. So you do have some storage spaces up here. It looks a little odd that there are some cup holders back here, and some USB plugs. But if you want to sit back here, I guess you've got some cup holders and you can charge your phone. So other than that, there's really not a whole lot going on back here. You do have a 120 volt plug-in, so you can power stuff back here. Now, most of the time you lift up this stuff and there's extra storage under here. Now this one, flip this cover back, and the only thing you have is this right here. There's your storage area. Because this part right here, this piece that all the way around the outside here, it does have some latches there. This is your hybrid battery. Now it's not very big. I think it's under 1 kilowatt hour. And it just kind of runs some of the systems inside. I actually have seen it drive under 30 mile an hour for about a half a block. But it does do a good job with all of the other systems in here with your start stop and all of those things, and it will idle and sit in with the battery running at times. Okay, so now, but we were talking about the cargo area. So like I said, 38 cubic feet back here. When we drop that second row, and you should be able to reach up here, flip this handle, maybe. Let's try. We're gonna reach up here, and we should be able to flip this handle all the way up, and it got caught. Let's try this one. Now this is actually quite a stretch. You actually see I have to reach way in here to get this. So I am outside of the car and get this, and you know, really lift hard and get it up. But if you don't have everything right, they just stop right there. So let's drop these the rest of the way down, or just kind of push them down. So there is another way to put these seats down instead of trying to reach and dive through the back. You can put them down from up here. You do have a lever right here. When you lift this lever, it will fold this top down. Now the funny thing about this is there's cup holders in the back. I did not see a 3-row configuration. Maybe there is. Maybe they're leaving it open to add 3 rows later on. I'm not sure. I did not see a 3-row configuration, but cup holders in the back, and when you pull this, that goes up and it flips the seat up so you can crawl into the back. So I'm a little confused with that. Maybe you guys can tell me in the comments why that is, or is there a third row? Like coming later on, maybe. I'm not sure, but I don't understand the point of this unless there is the option for a third row. So, all right. Anyway, seats are down. And now you have 82 cubic feet back here. So you have a lot of room to do and pack and do whatever you need to here in the back. So did you guys go down and leave me a comment and tell me what's going on with this back? Is there 3 rows? Is there supposed to be 3 rows? Is there gonna be 3 rows? Why do the seats flip up like that? Why are there cup holders and USB plugs in the back here? I don't know. If you guys haven't done that yet, go down and do that. But while you're down there, go ahead and click that subscribe button. That'll help me get more vehicles like this Land Cruiser to bring to you guys, show you the inside, the outside, the weird stuff, like what's going on back here, and some cool stuff and maybe some annoying stuff that I find along the way. Anyway, hit the subscribe button. I will put all this back together and meet you on the inside. I'm pretty sure I forgot to mention, but this is smoky blue is what the color is. That's a little bit of an off-white top, kind of a grayish white top. But I really do like this color. It's pretty awesome. And of course, you know, those wheels are pretty awesome too. But let's get in the inside of this. So you can see on the door panel, we got mostly black interior, but we do have this dark brown leather going through here with the white stitching. You've got a couple cup holders down below, all of your normal buttons, and your memory seating is there right underneath the handle. Take a look at the seats. So you do have powered seats with lumbar, and these are those brown seats, the dark brown, which I really do like dark brown. Looks really good with the black in here. All right, let's hop on in, get a little closer look. There is the passenger seat, a little bit more of this nice brown seat. You can see the brown on the door, and these are kind of soft. Come around. I love the turbine vents. Those have always been my favorite. This does have a JBL premium audio system in here. This material here is a little soft. This is pretty spongy soft up here. It's pretty nice. Down here, your glove box. Why do we have so many manuals in the glove box? That is like packed full. I guess you're not going to use that very much. All right, we'll come across, and there is that giant, I believe it is a 12.5-inch screen, maybe 13. Okay, guys, so here is your center display. Really gets a really bad glare, as you can see. Now, the way that I'm looking at it, I do not see a glare, so it may be something that just the camera is picking up. But you do have information on your right side here, and you have information over here on your left side. You can change those, and you do have some in the middle. So in the middle right now is the navigation. And we can change that very easily. And we can go up and down on that. You got driver support, so you got your driver assistance there. You can have it blank, messages. This is where your settings are all at for, there's your heads-up display, which is sitting right out there. You can barely see it, but it's there. And then we'll go back down, and you do have all of your driver assistance features in here that you can turn on, off, adjust, all of that. Vehicle settings, go into that. There you got traffic jam assist and a few other items. Turn that on. DMC recording. There's your dynamic radar cruise control. A few other items there. So that's pretty cool. All right. Go back out. Meter settings. This is just how you want to set up miles or kilometers, that type of thing. If you are familiar with Toyotas, this is a pretty normal system for them. Then you can actually go over here to this one, and you can switch through and change items over here. So you can have your driver assistance there. You can have it blank, got auxiliary gauges, so there's your battery and your oil temperatures, your trailer, if you're pulling something, pitch and roll, so when you're off-roading, that's nice that you have that function. Traction monitor, so it'll tell you what wheels are providing traction. Tire pressure monitor, and then you have trip B, trip A, and your driver info. So I usually just keep it on my trip. On this other side, you basically have the same thing. You can slide over here, you can change things over here. The economy is not on the right side, it is here on the left if you want that. You do have the turbo gauge you can have on the left side. Your engine and transmission fluid temperatures, the audio, navigation, and then back to fuel economy. Okay, so that is your driver's display. You can see that this has 960 miles on it currently. We're just under a full tank of gas, and we've got 260 miles that we can go. And you do have a lot of driver assistance features all up in here if you don't want them in the center screen. All right, go back to the steering wheel here. So this has been a normal steering wheel for Toyota lately. This is all their updated one. So you have driver assistance features over here. This is your cruise control, and this is your lane keep assist with lane centering. And then you got your adaptive cruise right here. And then you go on to the left side, and this has all of your voice recognition things. This controls all of your displays in your driver display. So that changes all of that. All right, let's get over here to the bigger screen. So this screen here, this does come with wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. We can go into the car, which is one of the first places I go to make sure that everything is set up right. So climate, so basically you can make some small adjustments here and stuff. Oh, here's the rear. You can change and have the rear set up also differently if you want. You do Eco Cool, and then go back to vehicle. Here's your trip information. So this kind of stores all of the information that you get when you drive. And then you go to history, and that will keep track of your mile per gallon. So previous best was 19.7, and we're at 21 right now. And then you can just hit update, and that'll start this over, and it will store it along with those other ones. Off-road information. So this is going to give you all of your traction. So you got brake meter, your accelerator. I'm sure that these probably light up and tell you what's driving what. And then you've got your pitch and roll on there also. And then just your normal vehicle alert systems. There's nothing to alert us right now. We go into settings. This is where you're gonna Bluetooth is where you're gonna set up your phone. Go to general. This is just like time, date, keyboard, language settings, that type of stuff. But we're gonna go down here. You can go in and change your displays a little bit, so you can adjust the brightness on that. We go down here even farther, and we get to vehicle customization. So this is where you can set up your lights, your turn signals, how reactive your lights are. Illumination is going to be anything inside, like your ambient lighting, that type of thing. And then you've got door control, so you can decide whether you want it to press unlock, you want it to unlock all the doors, just the driver door, or whatever there. Boarding and exit, that's just going to be your seat sliding, your seat sliding for easy entry, and your steering column moving, because this is a power adjusted steering wheel, which I actually forgot to mention. So it's powered up and down and forward and backwards, so that's pretty nice. Go back over here, and you've got climate. So this is remote start climate, and adaptive cruise control. You can have that customized. So that is all of your functions there, and then you can hit here and go right back to your navigation. Like I said, wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. It's awesome. Now we go down here, you do have all of your climate control buttons, and you can see these are heated and ventilated seats on both sides, and your heated steering wheel button is right there. And then all these are your normal adjustments. You do have auto, and then you got to control your rear back here. You can press that, that'll turn that on, so then you can make adjustments in your screen there. Moving on down, you do have up underneath here a view button for your camera. So we're going to click that, see what we got here. We have, this is spinning around a 360 view. There is a different view there. We can go to settings, go to vehicle body color, and we are blue, so we're going to set that up for blue. So we're going to go put this in reverse. Okay. This is going to bring up different camera modes. So you have this one, you can turn your lines on and off. And then you have 2 different views. You do have your bird's eye view here. And then when you're in multi-terrain monitor, you can see your cornering view under the vehicle. Let's see if we can get that in. All right, so MTS, here's all of our different things. So you got auto, dirt, sand, mud. Okay, they don't really do anything different. Snow. Let's check out our camera view now. So here is the off-road camera view. So we have this view here of the vehicle, so you can see, well, that was pretty neat. And it can see under, you can see me turning the wheels, and you can see on each side. So we're gonna go on down here, and you do have USB. So this is a regular USB to connect if you need to connect with it. And then you have 2 charging ports right there, which are USB-Cs. You do have a wireless phone charger right here. Over here, this is your drive mode select. So this will switch you between eco, normal, and sport. And then whenever you hit the MTS button, which we are on right now, this is actually all of your off-road modes. So right now it says drive mode. That is your main drive modes. And then you switch to this, it goes on here, and then it gives you those other drive modes. All right. You do have rock crawl, which is pretty cool. Come on back. You do have, well, like I said, you can see this. We just have a normal standard shifter. I really do like the standard shifters. They're pretty nice. And then you got electronic parking brake, auto hold. Now, back here, here's your traction control. Turn that off. This is your locking center differential. That will provide 4-wheel drive. And you can see right here, it says it's in 4 high. So you can, when this is not connected, then you can drive in 2-wheel drive. And then when this is connected, then you have 4-wheel drive all the time. And then this is your locking rear differential. So if you have trouble, you can actually kick that in also. And then for those rocky areas, you do have a stabilizer disconnect. Move back here to the armrest. Now the armrest is very comfortable. It's nice and soft and cushy. Feels good on my elbow. And lift this up, and it's not a whole lot of room. It's decent, I guess, but I could still get my hand in there. And I have camera equipment, safety glasses, a few other things. But one thing I noticed was you got a cool box button. When you turn that cool box button, basically it runs air conditioning into this box, so it kind of keeps things a little cooler. The thing I don't like about it, though, when you shut the car off, it shuts off. So it doesn't keep it cool in here, only when the car is running. So you can still come back and have a hot beverage. That's it for up here. I'm going to go hop in the back. I'm about 6 foot, so we'll see how much space is back there. All right, let's see how well I fit back here. Like I said earlier, I am 6 foot tall. The driver's seat is in my driving position, and I still have about an inch or two right here, kind of a couple fingers in front of me, which is fine. I can relax a little bit more. I probably could sit this seat up a little bit more if I wanted to, but it's at a comfortable place for me as I drive right now. Headspace, about 3 inches, which is pretty good back here. I really do like that. It's a lot better than what I expected. So I guess that's all back here for that part of it. So now I'm going to bring you in and show you what else is back here. So we'll stop real quick and look at the door panel. It looks basically the same as the front. You got a couple bottle holders right down there. Now we're going to look in here, and one thing that I wanted you guys to realize is that we talked about this earlier. So we've got this handle back here. So these do recline. So you can recline the backs of these seats, but you cannot slide them forward or backward. That's why I said that was the room that I had. I would have to move the front up if I was going to do anything. Can't move them to the back. So we're going to get up in here. This does have its own climate control back here. And then you do have a 12 volt down here and 2 USB-C plugs. So you can plug in your cell phones. You do have a little pouch back here for your map that we don't use anymore. And you can see the little JBL speaker in the door there, and then there's another one right down there for that system. Your vents are up above your head, which I like that a lot better because then you can blow it right on your face if you're warm back here. We also do have a center armrest in here. So that is really good. It's really comfortable. It's kind of at a good height, good level. 2 cup holders, so that's good. And that's about it. See, there's vents back here for this third row that does not exist. So I'm not sure what we're supposed to do with that. Are those for the dogs? Maybe they did it for dogs. I mean, we got vents on both sides and cup holders for the dogs, I guess. Like I said, in the comments, let me know, but I have not found anywhere where you can have a third row in this vehicle. Okay, well, there's a little picture of the sunroof right there. Okay, well, that's it for the inside. I still don't know what's going on with the third row that doesn't exist, but there's stuff back there for them. Anyway, let's go hear about some pricing on this, because the pricing I said earlier was a lot better. And then we're gonna go take it out for a drive and see what we think of it. It's time to talk about pricing. And earlier I said that they brought this into a more reasonable price range for people who are loyal to the Land Cruisers, want to take the Land Cruisers off-roading, because that's what it's made for. So here we go. Now the base model, which is the Land Cruiser 1958, now it is stripped down from what you see here, but it still has full-time four-wheel drive. It still gets the center and rear locking differentials. It also still gets heated front seats and steering wheel. And the biggest difference between the Land Cruiser and the 1958 is the headlights. You get the round headlights in the 1958, which is the one that I would probably choose. Now that is going to start out at $55,950. Now moving up to, this is the mid-range, because there was a first edition, but only 5,000 of those were sold. So this is basically your next trim level or your top trim level. And it's just called the Land Cruiser. Now you are gonna get with it not only the things that I showed you, but I may not have mentioned, but I wanna make sure you guys understand that this model has a lot more to offer than the 1958. It gets a multi-terrain monitor and selector with 6 off-road modes. You get a stabilizer disconnect, rectangular headlights that opposed to the round ones in the 1958. And those items are going to start you out at $61,950. Now, we'll talk about this one right here. Now, this one right here had a lot of options added onto it. So, this one, as tested with these options, 20-inch wheels, a premium package, which was like $4,500, a 2-tone roof, the roof rack, which was like $1,500, and the delivery fee. This one comes in at $71,469. Now that is still $20,000 under what these were priced at in 2021. All right, guys, that's it for that. Let's go take it for a ride. I'm gonna go ahead, get switched over to sport mode. All right, we are gonna pull right out here and we're gonna do a launch. So ready, here, a little brake torque, 1, 2, 3, go. Oh, is that a good initial burst? There's 60. They said 7.7 seconds. I don't know if it's really that long. It didn't seem like it was that long, but maybe it was. You get that first initial burst, which is that electric drive motor taking up the gap of the turbo. So you have that turbo lag, and that electric motor kind of fills that gap. So you get that first little jump, and then it kind of takes a little time to get going. But like I said, this is not what this is made for, but we just like to do that just so you guys can have a little idea of what it looks like. But it does pretty well. So driving this this week, I've really actually enjoyed it. Now, the first thing that I thought when I got in here was it was really narrow, really tight, because I just got out of the Toyota Tundra, the redesigned Toyota Tundra, and there was a lot more open room in this area right here, my kind of cockpit area. So my knees had more room to move around and everything. But in here, my knees are like up against the edge on this side, up against the edge on the left side. And at first I felt cramped. And I know, and this is what I was figuring was, it's made that way because you're supposed to go off-roading. So you don't want to be moving around a whole lot. You want to be able to brace your knees and brace your legs against things when you're going over stuff, which this is perfect for because you're not going to move around a whole lot. The other thing is that both sides are padded. This is padded here, and it's padded on the door where my knee is against it because they know that that's where your legs are going to be sitting. So it was intentional, and they did a great job padding that. I actually felt more comfortable in it. The longer that I drove it, I got used to it and felt comfortable. I don't feel cramped in here anymore like I did when I first got in. Like I said, this is not a speed demon. It's not supposed to be a speed demon, but it does have power. Over 450 pound-feet of torque. This can really do some damage off-road if you needed to. It's probably not going to get stuck. Now, this model here actually has the all-wheel drive tires on it, so if you're going to go off-roading, you want to put some all-terrain tires on it. I have gotten really used to the driver assistance features on the Toyotas because I've had a lot of Toyotas just recently. It's kind of just how the cars fell in line, and I'm getting very, very comfortable with it. Now, is it my favorite driver assistance features? No, it's not. That is reserved for another vehicle or another manufacturer, actually. But it is a very, very good system. It works great, and those that are Toyota fans and loyal Toyota buyers, you're gonna love the driver assistance features that are on this. Now, this model, I would not consider the model to buy to take off-road. It can. It absolutely, no problem taking this off-road. It'll do whatever you can throw at it. It will take it. You've got your rear, you've got your stabilizer disconnect, you've got your locking differentials in your rear and your center, and it's just ready to do all of that stuff. The suspension, you can feel it is swayy and bouncy and moves around. And I mean, just doing that, I can make this thing kind of rock because it's set up for that. It's got off-road suspension, you know, so it's set up to be hitting big bumps and rocks and all kinds of crazy stuff. It's ready for that. But the one that I think is best suited to go off-road is the 1958 model. One, it's cheaper, so it makes more sense that if you're going to take it off-road, then, you know, you take the cheaper one off-road. but it doesn't have all the frills and all of the niceties that this has. So you don't have to worry about as much stuff inside the car. This is more luxurious. So this is for your upper end people that would like to have this and maybe take some easy trails on occasion, is what I would say this one is more geared towards. But I love driving it. This is geared towards me. I am one of those that if I was going to own one, I want one that I am probably not going to take off-road. Why? Because that's just me. I am not an off-road person. Would like to drive through some trails, but I want the easy stuff that I don't have to get out and look at stuff constantly and try to figure out if I'm on the right line. I just want to drive through the woods, just have a leisurely drive. And this is going to be great for that. If I really wanted to go beat up the trails and stuff, I probably would take the 1958 one. This because I think it looks cooler and I like it better. So downfall to this is it does feel a little narrow. Now, like I said, I'm getting used to it. It doesn't feel quite as bad as when I first got in, but some people might find it a little too narrow in here. Especially if you are a bigger person, that might be a little bit more of an issue for you. But the overall driving dynamics of this is really good. It does what it's expected to, and if you're expecting it not to have some sway and some wobble and stuff like that, then you're getting the wrong vehicle, because this is made to do that. It's supposed to do that. The system laid in here, everything in here, it looks great. It's laid out really well. You can see all the buttons. I can reach everything without any problems. The heads-up display is bright, looks really, really good. I can plug in everything you need to plug in here. All my buttons are all right here, and very easy to learn them, and you don't have to try to be fumbling around and taking your eyes off the road to do this stuff. I think it's a great vehicle. I've enjoyed driving it. I kind of feel like I am driving just an original Bronco, but a lot nicer. So I would not compare it to the Bronco Raptor, but a standard Bronco, I feel like the size in here and everything is similar. This is just a lot nicer. and I would definitely probably choose this. I would definitely choose this over a Bronco. So I know I might be crazy, but I probably would. And I think he gets a lot better gas mileage than a Bronco. So that's my thoughts. I hope you've enjoyed watching this review. If you haven't yet, go down and hit the subscribe button, then click on one of the videos that's up on the screen. One is one that I picked for you, and I think you're going to like it. The other one, YouTube thinks that you're going to like. I'm pretty sure you're going to like them both. So I will see you in that next video.